can be made certain adjustments or leeway with respect to yung planned delivery. For example, yung modular side ay syempre that could be limited, especially halimbawa kung mag-extend, we don't even know kung matapos na yung MECQ and then they can proceed to the activity. But yes, there were, as reported to the secretary during the meeting that she called, uh, my implications uh, in these areas, and so adjustments have to be made with respect to the first week without having to defer the opening of classes.
Thank you, sir. My
Ina, go ahead. Yeah.
yes, my second question is about the feedback on the blended learning dry runs because we're supposed to see it today, but we didn't. So, can we cite specific challenges that were reported by the students who did the dry run in terms of the blended learning approach? For instance, yung sa modules, sa ODL, and the TVRDI, may specific challenges po ba silang na-report?
Ma'am, the secretary, if we may report, because on the side, the Region 12 was trying to address the glitch, so we might still be able to proceed based on the update from USEC Jess, who is in coordination with Region 12. So we might still see the dry runs, parang na-invert lang yung ating process, and then probably we can respond to your question after we have seen the dry runs as they will be shown. So there's a possibility, Secretary, if you will allow, for us to proceed with yung na-delay natin na pick-offs. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, of course, kasi those who see the videos and the reports and the dry run will see that it works. Of course, there are challenges. Like for example, in some places like the last mile schools, you need more transistor radios because you need a transistor radio for the teacher, for the school, and for the family which is receiving the messages, especially if there are different programs and different children. Then ganun din sa TV and other modalities. What came as I said, for me personally as a surprise is that we are leaning more to modules because of the complications of technology, even in NCR. And this has very serious cost implications. Transistor radios also have very serious cost implications because we have to maintain standards. Like hindi pwede yung kailangan ng connectivity na mga radyo, kailangan solar powered, kailangan waterproof, kailangan ganitong size, kailangan ganyan for this, and and then we also need additional gadgets. Pero we are proceeding as these things come. See, if you wait until we feel na ready na tayo, there will be other challenges na naman. Because challenges come every day and you deal with challenges as they come and as we anticipate them. So I really don't mind. This is the purpose naman talaga to sabi nga na bakit Nabotas is highly urbanized, etc. But if you see an island or if you see medium-sized urban place or if you see a municipality, then you can see that this blended learning is being applied in all type and many different kinds of situations. Thank you. Okay lang.
Sir Julius will be my last question.
Maraming salamat, ma'am. So before we shift forward sa ating live feed from you. I think we can allow one more question, Ina, before we come back dito sa press na to.
Yes.
Ayan. Ina, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Even without the in-person classes this year, ano po yung status ng basic education resources natin in terms of classroom, teachers, were we able to meet yung target natin for this year or yung mga expectations natin for this school year?
Yusik Ann would be in the best position to answer, although kami, ako, si Yusik Ann, Yusik Jess have been visiting more frequently this season the Department of Budget and Management, dialogues with the Secretary of Finance, dialogues with supporting institutions, international groups to generate the necessary resources. And we know what the law in economics is. Your resources are never enough for your wants or your desires. That's a basic law, and that has not been repealed. Second.
Yusik Ann, ma'am?
Yes. I'm sorry. Sorry, Director June. Can the question be repeated? I apologize. Nagkaroon ng sa akin, technical glitch din.
Ina, go ahead.
I was asking po yung status of basic education resources, like how many classrooms have we completed, yung teacher hiring po ba, na-meet natin yung required number that we're supposed to hire this year, and other resources.
Okay, thank you very much. And again, apologies for not getting the question as soon as possible. In terms of the finances, yung financial resources ng DepEd was readjusted, reprogrammed, and aligned to the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. It took some time, Ina, we are recognizing that kasi nga ang 2020 budget natin was designed using the face-to-face approach. And these learning modalities, yung pong blended na ginagawa natin, will require different financing resources. And we thank the DBM, the Department of Budget and Management, because they gave us all the accommodation that we needed. But the problem, of course, is if we want an ideal situation, the financial resources will be limited. So what we did is to really prioritize what we need. And the Secretary and the Department has decided to really prioritize the needs of our learners. Ito yung mga learning resources na kanina pinag-uusapan natin at pinaghahandaan. Yung mga self-learning modules, yung mga kailangan na radyo facilities, yung training ng mga teachers. They've been undergoing their capacity building and training program because this is a new approach for most of the teachers. At ginawa po rin po natin pati yung kanilang minimum health standard or yung paghanda ng ating mga eskwelahan kahit wala po itong mga bata. Ay syempre ang mga guro ay pupunta dito para magtrabaho at para makipag-engage sa ating mga learners. So this has been prepared and we are again observing, monitoring the financial flow. As of now, yung school MOE natin was also changed, approved by the Secretary na gamitin para sa COVID-19 response at yung pag-reproduce ng ating mga materials. So these are the things that have been going on. In terms of teacher hiring, walang pagbabago, tuloy-tuloy. I think ang naging effect is that yung delay ng process because of the movement. So kahit na meron tayong ganitong problema, may movement and disruption in the office processes, ay tuloy-tuloy ang ating hiring. In fact, di ba nag-announce pa nga kami that we would need the teacher aid or the learner support aids. At ito po yung mga gagawin ng iba pang mga local government units na ating mga kapartner dahil meron po tayong sektor na kailangan ding tulungan, for example, the private sector, education, and of course yung mga bago po natin na graduates at saka yung mga naghahanap ng kanilang on-the-job training at yung may mga background on guidance, counseling, and teaching. And these things are ongoing, Ina. Ito ay wala lang sa central office kasi ito ay field operation. So, pwede po kayong makipag-ugnayan sa ating mga regional offices, division offices, para po makita nyo rin na nandoon yung real action on this. Thank you.
I may add, Director June.
Yes, sir. Yusek Jess Mateo po. Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
yung kasi yung mga hiring ng personnel natin, teaching and non-teaching, is at the level of the division offices. Ongoing po yan. Karamihan po na-hire na po yung iba naman na tuloy-tuloy pa rin po. Tama po yung sinabi ni Yusek Ann, no? We're also exploring the possibility of learner support aids o ito yung mga mag-assist doon sa mga teachers natin. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Yusek Jess. Ma'am, at sa ating mga kasamahan sa media at sa mga taga-subaybay natin, pansamantalang puputulin po natin itong press conference na ito because naayos na po yung ating signal from Region 12. So we're shifting po doon sa live feed mula sa ating host region sa Soft Sargent. At mamaya po ay papatuloy natin ang ating press conference dito sa ating group na ito. So maraming salamat po. Pwede pong subaybayan yung dry run live stream sa DepEd Philippines. At the same time, live pa rin po siya sa lahat ng ating mga media partners. Maraming salamat po.
A dream of prosperity for our country was suddenly snuffed by a pandemic virulent virus. No nation was spared, neither rich nor poor were exempt from the onslaught of this deadly disease. But let us not despair. The vaccine is around the corner. Sooner and not later, the virus that gobbled up thousands of lives will itself be laid to rest.
Dahil walang pasok at nasa bahay lang, hindi maiwasan ang mainip. Pero ang daming pwedeng gawin para ma-level up ang sarili ngayong naka-quarantine. Learn a new skill. Mag-enroll sa mga online class o sumali sa mga webinar. Matutong magluto, tumugtog ng instrumento, mag-DIY, language class, photography, or make learning fun gamit ang mga libre at pambatang mobile app. Kulang ang pagkain. Bakit di ka mag-urban gardening? Gawing fit ang katawan at tumulong sa gawaing tahanan. Makibalita sa sitwasyon sa mga mapagkakatiwalaang website at istasyon. At maging masipag sa pagtulong sa kapwa. Ganon din sa pagsuporta sa ating mga bayaning manggagawa. Habang wala sa eskwela, gawin nating kapaki-pakinabang ang oras natin kasama ang pamilya. Stay home, stay safe, and stay productive.
I would like to express my gratitude to all those who made possible the steady supply of food, water, basic utilities of our households, and the provisions of basic social services and financial assistance to our people. Our profound gratitude goes to everyone who helped keep our country's food supply chain running. The valiant soldiers, policemen, and security guards who kept peace and order in our community. The dedicated personnel who kept our essential establishment operational. You showed us kindness and selflessness. You gave us strength. You risked your own lives to serve the greater good in keeping the Filipino spirit of bayanihan.
This is the ASEAN we know today. It is home to 600 million people. It is a home of the world culture diversity. It is home of the world's greatest temple. Home of the world's greatest ocean and waterways. It is home of the world's fastest growing region. Home of $3 trillion of trade. It all started when foreign ministers from 5 Southeast Asian countries proclaimed the establishment of ASEAN on August 8, 1967. Over the years, ASEAN has extended its members from the initial 5 to 10 countries by the end of the millennium. Since her birth, ASEAN envisioned to secure regional peace, accelerate economic growth, and foster social coherence through democratic process. The vision of ASEAN got even bolder, which is to take ASEAN as a global community of nations in 2015 and beyond. Let us all reach and reap our maximum potentials by working together as a single community of nations.
Throughout these years, we have resolved, working hard together for a true community. The beauty of diversity, bridging all the differences, a sense of unity. Let us move ahead, hand in hand as one. Let our virtues stand and face the challenges of time. Let us move ahead,
The future's ours. We have the strength. We shall find the peace within ourselves and with the world. And as we strive in our resolve, sharing this one vision of a true community. Let us move ahead, hand in hand as one. Let our virtues stand and face the challenges of time. Let us move ahead, integrate as one to a nation, community, prosperity, peace and harmony. We have resolved, working hard together for a true community. Sense of unity. Let us move ahead, hand in hand as one. Let our virtues stand and face the challenges of time. Let us move ahead, integrate as one to an ocean community, prosperity, peace and harmony. As one to an ocean community, prosperity, peace and to an ocean community, prosperity, peace and harmony.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Nagtiyan.
Stay home.
Stay home. อยู่บ้าน Stay home. Stay home.
Stay safe, ASEAN.
I have a dream of what I wanna be. I wanna be free. That's what my heart keeps telling me.
Give me your hand, we'll find a way. There are people out there that feel the same. And if we help each other, I just know we can succeed.
We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl.
Come together and share our dream. We'd be among the stars, and we know that it's destiny. We are unity. We are unity.
I do believe, oh, I believe in destiny.
Darating na Agosto, ang pagbabalik sa eskwelahan ay malaking pagsubok sa ating lahat. Mga magulang, kailangan natin magtulungan, magkaisa para mapuksa ang COVID-19 pandemic at tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang edukasyon sa ating mga anak. We heal as one.
2020 has taken a big toll in our lives. One question has run up into my mind over and over again. What is next for our future? What is next for education? The day that the community quarantines were established here in our country, the greatest responsibility of taking action was done by the Department of Education. And on the 21st of May, they have already produced the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan for students. We have observed the immense efforts of each and every one of DepEd to produce quality education amid this pandemic. That we have seen that they have created new strategies, new perspectives, even if we stay in our homes. And with that, we highly commend the efforts of the Department of Education, particularly the Division of Lawag City, who wholeheartedly has created so much strategies and plans, who has created so many concepts and ideas for us to adapt to the so-called new normal. They have stayed true to the name of Lawag, being an emblem of hope, shining and burning with passion to provide nothing but the best for students like myself.
As the of Schools Division of the WAC City Region 1, I support DepEd's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. We're grateful for its efforts to ensure that no learner is left behind amidst the public health situation. I commit to actively participate and advocate the BELCP. I support DepEd's distance learning modalities. I support DepEd's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan.
To all our education champions, led by our beloved Secretary of the Department of Education, the Honorable Secretary Yunor Magdoles Biones, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. It is always an honor for World Vision to be part of campaigns that strongly uphold the rights and welfare of the learners and children in general, because through this, we are all directly investing in the lives of our future generation. And I believe that it's through partnership that we will be able to strengthen human capital and nation building. In helping children, families, and communities, we at World Vision make sure that our programs and services in education, health and nutrition, child protection, livelihood, disaster risk reduction, and spiritual nurture are all aligned and contributing to the plans of the government and also relevant to the needs of the children, especially the most vulnerable. It is our vision that every child will experience life in all its fullness. Recently, we conducted an assessment on the impact of COVID-19 to children and families. And one of the critical concerns that children express is actually in the form of a question whether they can still go back to school or not because of the pandemic. That is why we at World Vision strongly support DepEd's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. And we believe that through our partnership with different stakeholders, with sponsors and donors, we can make it. We've also launched Between Natin, a fundraising campaign, and of course, Brigada Pagpasa, a reading and literacy initiative. And we are hoping that these campaigns will contribute to Handang Isip, Handang Bukas. Let me close by saying that wisdom is a gift from God and education is freedom. As Dr. Jose Rizal said, we must win our freedom by deserving it, by improving the mind and enhancing the dignity of the individual, loving what is just, what is good, what is great. Let us all be one for children. Maraming salamat po, and may God bless us all.
Mensahe. Simpleng pakinggan subalit tago sa puso ang hatid. Pakinggan ang mensahe ng pinakamamahal nating
To
senador
all our
at chair
education
for Committee
champions
on Basic
led by our
Education, Culture and
beloved
Arts, Senator Sherwin T. Gatchalian.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat, kay Secretary Briones, sa DepEd's family, sa ating mga principal, sa ating mga guro, sa ating mga magulang. Muli, binabati ko po kayo ng isang magandang umaga. Itong mga nakaraang linggo, marami pa akong naririnig at nakikita sa television, sinasabi po ng iba't ibang grupo na imposible po itong ginagawa ho natin. Kulang ho tayo sa kagamitan, kulang ho tayo sa paghahanda, at imposible po ang pinapagawa po sa ating mga guro at sa buong kawani po ng Department of Education. Aminin ko po, ito ay hindi ho madali. Itong pandemya na ito ay hindi pa ho natin nararanasan. At itong napakalaking gagawin ho natin sa Department of Education at sa education sector ay hindi pa ho natin nagagawa at nararanasan. Pero mga kasama, hindi ho tayo makakatulog ng gabi kung nalalaman natin ang ating mga anak ay naiiwanan. Ang ating mga anak ay uurong pagdating sa kaalaman. Ang ating mga anak ay hindi matututo. Sa mga pribadong sektor, maraming mga eskwelahan ay nag-umpisa na ho sila. Pero paano naman po yung mga kabataan ho natin na naiiwanan po at hindi po pwedeng makapag-aral? Mga kasama, alam ko po na malaki po ang hamon na hinaharap po natin. Hindi po ho ito madali. Talagang halos imposible po yung ginagawa ho natin. Pero mga kasama, hindi ba mas malaking inspirasyon kung naririnig ho natin na yung imposible ay ginagawa nating posible? Mas malaking inspirasyon ho sa atin kung yung hindi madali ay nagagawa ho natin at napapakita ho natin na kaya pala. Kaya mga kasama, alam ko ho na yung gagawin ho natin ay kauna-unahang gagawin ho natin sa buong kasaysayan ho natin. Pero naniniwala po ako na ating mga guro, ang ating mga punong guro, sila po ay subok na pagdating po sa ganitong krisis. Subok na ho sila pagdating po sa pagmamahal sa ating mga kabataan. Subok na ho sila pagdating po sa pagbibigay ng edukasyon. At alam ho nila na hindi ho pwedeng may maiwanan. Kahit isang bata, hindi ho natin pwede silang iwanan. Ako ay naniniwala ng ating mga guro at punong guro ay handa na ho dito. Naniniwala po ako na dahil po sa kanilang sakripisyo at pagmamahal, gagawin nilang posible ang imposible. So muli, congratulations po sa ating Department of Education. Kasama niyo po ako. Gagawin po natin lahat ng ating makakaya para masigurado po na itong learning continuity plan ho natin, itong distance learning ho natin, at yung pagtuturo ho natin sa ilalim po ng tinatawag nating distance learning ay magpapatuloy. Hindi ho tayo papayag na maiiwan ang ating kabataan sa pagdating po sa pag-aaral. Hindi ho tayo papayag na magiging mangmangho sila dahil po hindi tayo makakapagturo sa ilalim ng pandemya. Ito po ay isang paraan para masigurado ho natin na sila po ay magkakaroon ng magandang kinabukasan at hindi ho sila pababayaan ng ating pamahalaan. Muli, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at magtulong-tulong ho tayo gawin posible ang imposible.
At ngayon naman, pakinggan ang mensahe ng representative ng Lone District of Pasig City at Chair, Committee on Basic Education and Culture, Roman T. Romulo.
Isang magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Roman Romulo, Chairperson ng Committee on Basic Education and Culture sa House of Representatives. Unang-una po, gusto ko magbigay pugay po sa buong DepEd family, kay Secretary Liling Briones, sa lahat ng teaching and non-teaching personnel sa bawat paaralan sa buong Pilipinas. Kung hindi dahil sa hard work at sakripisyo po ninyo, hindi tayo aabot sa araw na ito. Ngayon araw po ay sisimulan natin itong simulation para magprepara sa opening academic calendar. Sana po lahat tayo, katulad ng ginagawa natin, itong mga nakalipas na buwan ay tulong-tulong, sama-sama, at magpahaba tayo ng mga pasensya. Minsan talaga ay hindi natin mapeperfecto agad, pero kung tayo ay magtutulungan, sigurado ko po makakatulong tayo sa ating kabataan. Alam po ninyo, nung nag-umpisa itong COVID-19 at napag-usapan na umpisahan natin ang distance learning or blended learning, marami po ang pumuna at marami ang nagsabi na kakayanin ba natin ito. Alam nating lahat, walang perfect na modality. Alam natin na bago ito hindi lang sa ating bansa, pero sa lahat ng mga bansa sa buong mundo. Kahit sa mga first world countries ay hanggang ngayon ay nahihirapan rin sila dito sa blended and flexible learning na ginagawa nila. Kaya tayo po dito sa ating bansa, pakita po natin na bagamat hindi pa perfecto, ay magtutulungan tayo, magsasama-sama tayo para masigurado po na hindi matigil ang edukasyon ng ating kabataang Pilipino. Sa mga magulang po, maraming salamat sa pagtiwala sa Department of Education. Ang tiwala po at pagtutulungan po natin, sigurado ko po, ay mamumunga ng maganda para sa ating mga anak, apo, at sa ating buong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay po ang edukasyon.
At ngayon, pakinggan ang Governor ng Quirino, President, Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines, National Chairman League of the Provinces of the Philippines, Governor Dakila Carlo E. Cua.
To our DepEd family, headed by Secretary Liling Briones, all our undersecretaries and assistant secretaries, to our regional directors, superintendents, school heads, teachers, parents, to my fellow government leaders, magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Sa ngalan po ng Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines o ULAP, na kumakatawan sa lahat ng mga lokal na opisyal at syempre mga local government units. Kami po ay natutuwa at nagpapasalamat sa inyong imbitasyon ngayong araw sa inyong National Kick-Off Program na may temang angkop na proteksyon, patuloy na edukasyon at mabisang aksyon. Sa tingin ko po, lahat tayo nagkakaisa na marami talagang mga uncertainties na hinaharap ng buong bansa. Kasama na rin po ang larangan ng edukasyon. Kaya lalo tayo dapat magtulungan, lalo po tayo dapat makipag-ugnayan, lalo po tayo dapat magsuporta ng isa't isa. Asahan niyo po ng inyong mga local government leaders at ng mga LGUs ay kapartner ng DepEd sa paghahatid ng edukasyon, paghahatid ng serbisyo, at syempre kasama rin dyan po ang paghahatid ng collaboration and feedback upang ating lalong ma-define ang new normal at mahanapan ng maganda at maayos na solusyon, delivering education but at the same time protecting the health of our children and our teachers as well. So maraming salamat po, mabuhay po ang DepEd at mag-ingat po tayong lahat. Stay safe po.
Magandang umaga Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Magandang umaga sa lahat ng mga Pilipino sa buong mundo. Good morning DepEd Philippines and welcome to the National Kick-Off of School Readiness for School Year 2020-2021. Tayo po ay napapanood mula dito sa DepEd Soc Sargent, lungsod ng Coronadal, Rehiyon 12. Bago tayo mag-umpisa mga kaibigan, nais po nating aniyahan ng lahat saan man kayo naroroon ngayon. Tayo po ay magsitayo at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas, Lupang Hinirang.
At pagkatapos nating awitin ang ating pambansang awit, mangyari lamang na manatiling nakatayo para sa isang ecumenical na panalangin.
nasisingil sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit bumaba. May ilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang tinamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nagdidilim. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan magpapit magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng maraming pagsita, mayayagin sa likod. Aming ligaya na at may mamagin, at namatay ng tayo sa'yo.
Amo doata no mabani kde mat mapaabelem nim kalafos ni ani iyo nuya gami hon yom dep ed ani iyo magdana yom implementation MDL duhon yo kam dumo learning modalities maba kde kanga managi ma ni ba region 12 duhon baklamang ang Pilipinas. Hal benlay mi katengon, benlay mi kagis, na benlay mi hayuklo, anik gemak manimni. Kenlung mi bayom des mogaw ni o amo. Kem tao malak, kem tuha, kem ngak managi, na kemas telu, na kedeen. Hal beembaya mi amo, hal nuya kemi. Amo doata, hal sen bekas semide. Bayom kakbong nawaham duhan yom tulusam hal mafasang bakade hal hanungo mo amo nim tapa makom nakokam nahuwitam yom basa go abeleem ani mo yo mo para bakat na satu beleem hal hanungo yom tapa mo amo doata sonan.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من البرص والجنون والجذام ومن شيء الأسقام ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Maraming salamat sa lahat ng nakibahagi sa ating ecumenical prayer. Ang panalangin ng ating mga katutubong kapatid ay ibinigay ni Benji Emmanuel sa saliw ng plauta ni Delmo A. Dulay. Ang atin namang Muslim prayer ay sinambit ni Nasruddin C. Said.
Ang Christian prayer naman ay inawit ni Geraldine Timbang na sinamahan ng pagtugtog ng violin ni Vincent Carl Tacardon.
Sa puntong ito, mga kaibigan, marapat lamang na ating kilalanin at bigyang pugay ang mga haligi, hindi lamang ng kagawaran ng edukasyon, kundi ng iba't ibang ahensya ng ating pamahalaan at ng ating mga partner organizations na patuloy na sumusuporta sa pagunlad ng edukasyon sa ating bansa. Ang okasyong ito ay tunay na pinarangalan ng kanilang pagdalo.
Joining us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, is no less than the Secretary of the Department of Education, Leonor Magnolis Briones, with the members of the Executive Committee. We also acknowledge the presence of our governors, city mayors, League of Municipalities of Region 12, regional directors of national line agencies of Region 12.
At ngayon, upang magbigay ng kanyang pambungad na pananalita, narito ang Regional Director ng DepEd Software Region, Alan C. Guardado.
The strength of the nation is seen on how it prepares its children for the future. Author unknown. Good morning, Philippines. Region 12, Soxargen Region, is truly honored to host the national kick-off program on school readiness, drawing confidence from the passage and approval of the Joint Regional Task Force COVID-19 and Regional Interagency Task Force of a resolution declaring support to the Department of Education on the opening of its classes on August 24, 2020. I thank all the members of the joint RTF-RIATF led by the Honorable Dato Suharto Teng Mangudadato Alhads PhD and the RDC Chair, Honorable Mayor Ronel C. Rivera. Today, we have just experienced an almost 2 hours of shame brought about by some technical glitches that I cannot even comprehend. Our almost 3 weeks of preparations are now hanging on the gutter. Today, we learn that lesson to bring us confidence come August 24, 2020. Shall we give up because something went wrong? As we launch our national readiness today, we also solicit on the readiness of acceptability, the readiness of flexibility, the readiness of being able to sacrifice and change course of events when, as we planned for months, will turn out to not work as planned. Getting confidence from the men and women of Region 12 who, despite of 2 hours of shame, gathered their hands together and put on the greatest resolve on courage. Region 12 promises to you, we will. Today, we celebrate too the strong leadership of Secretary Liling Magtolis Briones, who despite of and in spite of continue to provide the leadership in these challenging times, together with the EXICOM, the regional directors, schools division superintendents, school administrators, and everyone for braving the challenges of COVID-flavored education, where our Secretary's battle cry is, education must continue. As we do our launching today, we want to give the highest honor to all the faceless and nameless teachers whose preparations and hard work are bigger than their fears, the module writers, videographers, filmers, radio-based instruction script writers, and announcers, module courses for making this national launching of school readiness truly dignifying through your efforts. On behalf of the school's division superintendents of the 9 divisions of this region, together with our Assistant Regional Director, ARD Fiel Y. Almendra, and all the men and women of Region 12, we welcome you to the Handang Isip, Handa Bukas National Kick-Off Program, angkop na proteksyon, patuloy na edukasyon, mabisang aksyon, kung saan sinasabi namin dito sa Regions 12, kasali lahat, kasama lahat, para sa lahat. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat RD Alan sa iyong mainit na pagbati. Ngayon naman mga kaibigan, para sa kanyang pambungad na mensahe, ating salubungin ang isang masigapong palakpakan, Honorable Ronel C. Rivera, Alcalde ng General Santos City, na siya ring chairperson ng RDC 12.
Good day to everyone. Indeed, the year 2020 has been eventful and very faithful for all of us. But the fact that we are here today during the national kickoff program of Handang Isip, Handang Bukas means that we are adjusting, we are fighting, and we are getting ready for the new normal. Congratulations to the Department of Education for bending with the blows of this pandemic and showcasing your capability to adapt to the sudden and rapid changes. When COVID-19 hit us earlier this year, we did not expect that it will turn our life upside down. All the planning and preparation that the national government and our local government unit did for 2020 was thrown out of the window. We did not expect na masisirado ang mga businesses, establishments, and most importantly, our schools. While we are slowly starting to open up our businesses to help jumpstart the economy, it is important that we also put effort and focus on the education sector. Our children cannot afford to lag behind in their education. That has been one of the most consistent campaigns of my administration. From day one, partner natin ang DepEd sa ating commitment to providing rooms, increasing capacity, and developing our education sector's capability because that is part of our mandate and commitment. We should maintain that compliance with the mandate and that high level of commitment even in the face of this pandemic. Sa mga palangga natong ginikanan, salamat sa pagsalig sa gobyerno sa padayong pagpa-enroll ninyo sa inyong mga anak. Sa inyong simpleng pagpa-enroll sa inyong mga anak, ginapakita ninyo ang inyong pagsalig sa gobyerno na kaya namong tudluan inyong mga anak nga dili sila maulahi sa ilang pagskwela ug dili sila mabutang sa delikado. Once again, congratulations to the Department of Education and to our parents and teachers. Daghang salamat sa inyong sakripisyo, serbisyo ug pagmahal sa atong mga estudyante. Palanggata mo, daghang salamat, keep safe and healthy, and God bless us all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Ronel Rivera, for that very warm welcome to our participants. The welcoming part is not yet over, though. We listen now to the welcome message of Honorable Steve C. Salon, Governor of the Province of Sarangani.
Congratulations, DepEd, for the opening of classes this August. I just want to tell you that Sarangani is committed in partnership with DepEd to provide quality education to the Sarangans. We have been working together to create different modalities to ensure that quality education is delivered to the students of Sarangani. I just want to say that, we take this COVID pandemic very seriously. We put health above everything else. And because this pandemic is beyond our control, Sarangani, DepEd, its private partners have decided to improvise, adapt, and overcome this situation by providing different means and ways to keep education going. Kailangan po na ma-instill sa character natin ang new normal. Habang wala pa tayong vaccine, we need to make sure that our families and our neighbors and ourselves are safe by avoiding large crowds that we get in schools and to simply avoid face-to-face learning until the vaccine comes. So congratulations again, because DepEd Sarangani has come up with their program in partnership with the Sulong Karunungan program of the province of Sarangani, has come up with a modality or a system called LR on wheels, and this will provide online learning to the people in the area, especially in the areas of the uplands. It will be a streamed online teaching tool that will help not only get education to the household, but will keep people safe by preventing mass gatherings in schools. So congratulations, Sarangani, and by God's grace, this LR on wheels will be a great success and will be a spearhead for other divisions all over the country. I'd like to say thank you to DepEd, to SDS Mosqueda, to Ma'am Donna Panes, and for all the DepEd officials for coming up with such a innovative way to improve education in Sarangani during a pandemic. And I am convinced that Sarangani once again can become a best practice example for other divisions all over the country. By the grace of God and with His guidance, we can make this distance learning work for us. I'd like to thank the private sector who has been so helpful, all our education partners that have come together as one group to help bring quality education to the Sarangan. So again, DepEd, congratulations, God bless, and Sulong Sarangani.
The year 2020 brought new beginnings for the Department of Education. Ready to pivot towards attaining quality education, DepEd was hopeful of the challenges ahead of it. But as DepEd continued to work on its commitment, the world suddenly faced a steeper dilemma. Around the globe, countries like the Philippines had to shift their priorities to respond to a public health crisis brought by COVID-19. Schools had to be closed, activities had to be halted, graduation ceremonies had to be canceled, as people were urged to stay at home. A new normal dawned upon us. As soon as DepEd realized the impact of these disruptions in education, it began to proactively craft its learning continuity plan last April to ensure that learning opportunities will still be available. Consulting with partners and advisors through the Education Forum, as well as legislators, teachers, parents, learners, and the general public, DepEd made sure its LCP encompasses the concerns of the whole education sector in responding to the crisis, its topmost priority being the protection of the health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel. To make informed decisions, DepEd first analyzed relevant data and epidemiological picture for the incoming school year. DepEd also issued guidelines on its required health standards to be adopted in all public and private schools and DepEd offices following DOH and IATF protocols. It covers 4 COVID-19 mitigation objectives, namely, to increase physical and mental resilience, reduce transmission, reduce contact, and reduce duration of infection. The LCP also outlined how learning continuity will be ensured. It streamlines the K-12 curriculum into the most essential learning competencies and allows the use of distance learning, homeschooling, and blended learning modalities. Since conducting face-to-face classes will be a risk in most areas, DepEd has anchored its delivery of education to modular, online, TV and radio, or a combination of all. Guided by teachers, modular learning will allow learners to use self-learning modules in a format applicable to learners' capacity. In online distance learning, teachers will facilitate and engage learners' participation through the internet, whether synchronous or asynchronous. TV and radio-based instructions, on the other hand, are converted lessons fit for the broadcast medium. The LCP assures that all our learners, including our SPED, ALS, Madrasa students, can still access education even within the confines of their homes, and ensures that their household capacity will not hinder their right to education. To make this possible, our joint Brigada Eskwela and Oplan Balik Eskwela is assisting the preparations for the rollout of the LCP. On May 8th, the LCP was approved by the IATF. The President also gave it his full support and expressed his commitment to meeting the financial demands of its execution. The implementation of the LCP will not be easy. It is not a perfect plan, and complications can be expected along the way. But extraordinary times call for extraordinary and proactive measures, and the Department of Education is ready to address the challenges along the way with the help of our national and local government, partners, parents, and learners. As one nation, learning opportunities shall be available in this brave new world for our Filipino children.
Ang ating mga kasama sa Department of Education family, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga guro at mag-aaral at ang ating host region dito sa Region 12 at lahat ng ating mga partners mula sa mga local government units, sa Kongreso, sa development organizations, private sector, civil society organizations, academe, at sa lahat po ng ating mga kababayan, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ang natunghayan po ninyong buod ng Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan o ang tinatawag naming BALCP, ang tugon ng DepEd sa hamon na magampanan ng pamahalaan ang tungkulin na patuloy na makapagbigay ng oportunidad sa edukasyon ng sa ligtas na paraan sa kabila ng COVID-19. Ang tanong po ay ang mahirap na hamon ng pag-implement nito at hindi po biro ang ginagawang paghahanda ng DepEd para ma-implement itong BELCP. Mayroon po tayong siyam na readiness components upang maisakatuparan ang pagtuturo ng ating mga anak sa ligtas na paraan kahit di ngayong panahon ng COVID, mula sa enrollment, pagbabago ng curriculum, pagkakaroon ng iba't ibang distance learning delivery modalities, ang pagsasaayos, ang pag-adapt ng learning resources, ang pag-adapt din ng assessment, teachers training, pag-mobilize ng resources at pagkakaroon ng health standards in our offices and schools. At gayon din ang regional contextualization na siyang matutunghayan ninyo mamaya. Humingi po tayo ng tulong kay Teacher Emmanuel L. Maglasang ng Gutad National High School at kay Teacher Levin Pabriaga ng Mambog Elementary School para ibahagi ang ating update sa mga readiness components na ito. So tunghayan po natin ang inihandang AVP sa tulong ni Teacher Iman at saka ni Teacher Levin.
Magandang araw! Ako po si Teacher Iman at ibabahagi ko po sa inyo ngayon ang mga paghahandang ginagawa ng DepEd para sa pagpupunan ng taon. Kasama ko rin ngayon si Teacher Levin. Tara, Teacher Levin, simulan na natin. Alam mo ba, Teacher Levin, na noong June 19 pa lamang ay naglabas na ang DepEd ng Basic Education Learning Ako po si Teacher Iman, or BEL. Sabi ko sa inyo ngayon ang mga pagtaas ng pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral ngayon ng COVID-19. Kasama ko rin ngayon si Teacher Levin. Ngayong taon, ang pagdaanan natin ay gagamit ng printed or digital modules, online learning, at TV and radio-based instruction. Alam mo ba, Teacher Levin, na noong June 19 pa lamang ay naglabas na ang DepEd ng Basic Education Learning Ako po si Teacher Iman, or BEL. Sabi ko sa inyo ngayon ang mga pagtaas ng pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral ngayon ng COVID-19. Kasama ko rin ngayon si Teacher Levin. Ngayong taon, ang pagdaanan natin ay gagamit ng printed or digital modules, online learning, TV and radio-based instruction.
Salamat sa tanong mo, Nanay Marieta. Huwag kang mag-alala. Hindi kailangan pumasok ng mga bata sa paaralan ang sa dahil sa apos ng suot ang pahawasan ng IEF sa Uyok at ng Department of Education ang mga bata na nag-aaral ng mga bahay sa pamamagitan ng
At yun lang, isa sa mga bagong ipag-ipan natin ngayong taon, Teacher Levin, ang blended distance learning. Ito naman ang tanong mula kay Lolo Willie ng Cebu. Takot ang mga magulang sa COVID-19. May mag-enroll ba sa pasukan? Naku, Lolo Willie, masaya po kami ibahagi sa inyo na higit na sa 22.7 million ang nakapag-enroll mula kindergarten hanggang grade 12. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, Lolo Willie, ay naabot na natin ang more than 80% ng kabuuang bilang ng mga nag-enroll last year. At mahigit na ito sa Adjustment Enrollment Target na isinubite ng DepEd sa National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA. Mula sa kabuuang 22.7 million, 21.2 million ang nag-enroll sa public school. Katumbas ito ng 93.90% sa enrollment last year. Kaya naman excited na ang DepEd na simulan ng school year na ito.
Totoo yan, Teacher Iman. Excited na talaga akong makilala ang ating mga mag-aaral. Tanong naman ni Teacher Babylin mula sa Binyan, Laguna. Ang hirap po talaga magturo ngayon dahil hindi kami makapagklase ng face-to-face. Paano kaya namin magtuturo ang buong K-12 curriculum ngayong taon? Teacher Babylin, batid natin ang hamon na dala ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman, pinabuti ng Department of Education na piliin na lamang ang most essential learning competencies o MELCs ng K-12 curriculum. Mula sa 14,171 ay mayroon na lamang 5,689 na learning competencies. Pinili ang mga MELCs na ito upang mabigyan diin ang pagkatuto ng pinakamahalagang kaalaman, kasanayan at kaugalian na dapat matutunan ng mga bata. Bukod pa rito ay mas mapapadali ang paggawa ng mga learning resources para sa distance learning.
Kaya-kaya natin to, Teacher Babylin. Fighting! At ito naman ang question mula kay Aris na isang grade 8 student mula sa Angeles, Pampanga. Wala po kaming pambili ng laptop or tablet. Paano po kami makakapag-aral? Tamang-tama yung tanong mo, Aris, kasi maraming nagtatanong yan. Hindi mo kailangan mga ba dahil isa lang ang online learning sa mga distance learning modalities na inihanda ng DepEd. Kung wala kang laptop or tablet, pwede kang mag-aral gamit ang modular or ang TV and radio-based approach. Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, gumawa ang DepEd ng mga self-learning modules na pwedeng nakaprint o kaya naman ay digital. Pero bukod sa mga self-learning modules na ito, pwede rin gumamit ang mga paaralan ng mga sumusunod. MELC's mapped textbooks, activity sheets, MELC's mapped or aligned supplemental learning materials, SLM-based or MELC's aligned videos or radio-based instruction. Marami sa mga supplemental learning materials na gagamitin ngayong taon ay ibinahagi sa atin ng mga partner organizations. Kaakibat nito, may mga natukoy ng iba't ibang paraan ng assessment na maaaring pagpilian batay sa uri ng teknolohiya na meron ng guro at ang mga mag-aaral.
Ang daming bagong mangyayari ngayong pasukan, Teacher Iman. Siguro, naisip nila, paano naman ang kahandaan nating mga guro para sa pagbabagong ito? Para matulungan ang mga guro, nagsasagawa din ang Department of Education ng iba't ibang trainings tungkol sa distance learning. Kasama dito ang mga programa ng National Educators Academy of the Philippines o NEA. Nagsasanay din ang mga supervisors at mga school heads para mas masuportahan pa ang mga guro. Itong huling katanungan ay mula kay Kapitan Hurley ng Cagayan de Oro City. Tuloy pa rin po ba ang school-based feeding program kahit hindi napapasok ang mga bata sa paaralan? Dahil pinahahalagahan ng Department of Education ang kalusugan ng mga mag-aaral, ay isasagawa pa rin ang School-Based Feeding Program o SBFP. Iba't ibang estratehiya ang gagamitin para isagawa ang SBFP na alinsunod sa required health standards at mga alituntunin ng DOH at IATF.
Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nagpadala ng kanilang mga katanungan. Sana ay natulungan natin kayong mas maunawaan yung mga bagay na pinag-usapan natin ngayon. Bago tayo magtapos, nais natin pasalamatan lahat ng mga nakatuwang ng DepEd sa paghahanda para sa school year na ito.
Tunay niyang naging malaki ang kontribusyon ng ating partners sa Oplan Balik Eskwela at Brigada Eskwela para tugunan ang mga pangangailangan sa BELCP. Ito ay nakadagdag sa ibang estratehiya na ginawa ng DepEd, gaya ng muling pag-aangkop ng budget, paggamit ng Maintenance and Other Operating Expenses o MOOE at Special Education Fund o SEC.
Malaking bahagi rin sa paghahanda ng DepEd ang pagbabayanihan ng mga field offices, mga paaralan at ng pamayanan.
Higit kailanman, ang tagumpay ng ating mga mag-aaral ay nakasalalay sa ating lahat. Tara na't magbayanihan tungo sa
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat kay Teacher Iman at kay Teacher Levin. Totoong tinitingnan natin itong BELCP, hindi lamang isang emergency response, kung hindi isang investment para sa hinaharap ng ating edukasyon. While there will be expectedly learning loss in certain areas, there will at the same time be quality gains through innovations and lessons from our education response to COVID-19. Ito pong BLCP ay kumukuha ng lakas from the resilience of the DepEd family, especially of our teachers and our partners. And DepEd seeks your trust and cooperation for the full implementation of the BLCP para sa edukasyon ng ating mga anak sa ligtas na pamamaraan sa panahon ng pandemya. Naniniwala po kami that together we shall overcome the challenges of school year 2021. Handang isip, handa bukas. Maraming salamat. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Mga piling rehiyon dito sa Pilipinas.
Kung merong malalayong paaralan ay masasabi nating ang access ay magiging malaking hamon para sa mga kaguruan. Subalit, ito ay hindi naging hadlang para sa division ng Davao de Oro, Region 11. Kung merong malalayong paaralan ay masasabi nating ang access ay magiging malaking hamon para sa mga kaguruan. Subalit, ito ay hindi naging hadlang para sa division ng Davao de Oro, Region 11 dahil ang Mangayon Elementary School, last mile school mang maituturing, ay abot na abot pa rin. Radio-based at modular ay kanilang naging paraan para sa buong kwento. Panoorin natin to.
Welcome to Mangayon Elementary School Site 4 Extension, the School of Dreams, Dedication, Responsibility, Empowerment, Attitude, Motivation, and the School of Success.
Home of the Matigsalog tribe. Side 4 in Barangay Mangayon in the municipality of Compostela is one of the identified geographically isolated, disadvantaged, and conflict-affected areas in the province of Davao de Oro. Its geographical location is challenging in itself. Teachers need to ride Skylab or habal-habal most of the time, which is a tough task to succumb. The school, founded in 2019, is a product of the spirit of volunteerism. The 20,000 square meter land area was donated by the chairman of the tribe, Uraya Mansay Luan. It is situated at the topmost part of the mountains of Barangay Mangayon. With this, the Department of Education, in partnership with the provincial government of Davao de Oro, inked a joint endeavor to establish a learning institution under its flagship program, the Last Mile Schools program. It is envisioned to address the gaps in resources and facilities to far-flung communities in terms of education. Out of all the Last Mile Schools program recipients, Mangayon Elementary School Side 4 Extension is unique and has been a model for other LMS. In the light of the current COVID-19 pandemic, with schools around the country being closed and face-to-face classes are prohibited, the school is now
De Luna. Present. Herrera. Present. Valera. Present.
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present.
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga lessons para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Sa bilis ng takbo ng oras, mahalagang mayroong ka mapagkakatiwalaan. Yung patuloy na magbabantay sa mga nangyayari sa bansa at katotohanan lamang ang kinakampihan.
Yung sisiyasat sa mga mahalagang pangyayari sa mundo at kayang ipaliwanag ang mga impormasyong dapat malaman ng bawat Pilipino.
Ako po si Yusek Rocky Ignacio.
At ako po si Joey Gilas, Ulat Bayan Weekend. It's not about the flash or the spin. It's about shining the light on the real numbers.
People, technology, trends. If people are talking about it, we're on it.
We give you context, balance, accuracy, even as we follow the trail of development and change.
It's news, never sensational, always factual. Catch it at the end of the day here on PTV News Tonight.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, sugpuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magbahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to!
Sa pagkalat ng maling impormasyon, sagot namin ang balitang balanse, matapang at masasandalan ng bawat mamamayan.
Balitaang may puso na ang sentro ay katotohanan at serbisyo publiko sa higit na nangangailangan. Yan ang pangako namin sa bayan.
Ito po si Gani Oro.
At ito po si Angelique Lazo,
tapat na naglilingkod para sa bayan.
Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Philippines' newest morning news show is Rising with Diane Querer, Gab Bayan, and Aljo Bendijo. Rise and Shine, Pilipinas!
Para sa bayan.
Magandang umaga Pilipinas. Ito po ang Team Philippines versus COVID-19. Kapapasok lang po na balita, no? Nag-issue po ang ating presidente ng isang memorandum na naka-address po kay Secretary Menardo Guevara ng Department of Justice na bumuo po ng task force para po imbestigahan ang mga anomalya dito sa PhilHealth. Sang-ayon po sa memorandum ng ang ating presidente, nakaka-issue lang ngayon lang po, kinakailangan po bumuo ng task force na kabibilangan po ng Ombudsman, ng Commission on Audit, ng Civil Service Commission, ng Office of the Executive Secretary, kasama na po sa USEC Kitain, at iba pong ahensya pa gaya ng PACC para po mag-imbestiga, maglitis, mag-suspend, mag-conduct ng lifestyle check at ipakulong ang lahat ng magnanakaw dyan sa PhilHealth. Dati-rati po, paulit-ulit nag-iimbestiga ang Kamara at ang Senado, wala pong nangyayari kasi wala pong kapangyarihan ng preventive suspension. Ngayon po, ang imbestigasyon nito, kasama na po ang preventive suspension. So mga kababayan, huwag po kayong mag-alala, nakinig po ang ating presidente at umakto, bagamat wala pa pong mapapatunayan sa lalong mabilis na panahon, meron naman pong preventive suspension ng mga pangalagaan ang kaban ng PhilHealth. Now, umpisahan na rin po natin ngayon ang ating briefing. Tulad po ng inaasahan, bumagsak po ang ating ekonomiya. GDP growth drops by 16.5% during the second quarter of 2020. Alam naman po natin na ito po ay resulta, no? Dahil doon sa ECQ at MECQ kung saan nagsara po ang buong bansa at maraming negosyo ang nalimitehan ang galaw at pati na rin po ang galaw ng mga tao. Hindi lamang po Pilipinas ang humaharap sa ganitong sitwasyon. Makikita po natin sa table na sa unang semestre ng taon, ang mga bansang tulad ng Indonesia, Thailand, China, Malaysia po at Singapore sa Asia, Estados Unidos, Pransya, Espanya, Italia, Mexico ay nagkaroon din ng contraction o inaasahang magkaroon ng contraction. Ngunit hindi po ito dahilan para naman tayo ay panghinaan ng loob, no? Mas kilala na po natin ang anyo ng COVID-19 kumpara noong Marso. Alam na natin kung paano ito kumakalat, alam na rin natin kung paano ito maiiwasan.
Kinakailangan po, tuloy lang ang ating buhay. Tulad ng madalas kong sinasabi sa ating press briefing, sasayawan po natin ito. Kinakailangan po, pag-ingatan natin ang ating buhay para tayo po ay makapaghanap buhay. Sabi nga po ng ating presidente, we must facilitate the country's economic recovery. Ito po ang kanyang mensahe noong ikalimang State of the Nation address niya. Kasama po sa ating Economic Recovery Plan ang pagpapasa ng Bayanihan 2 o Bayanihan to Recover as One Act at ang Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises or CREATE Act. Makakasama po natin mamaya si NEDA Director General Secretary Carl Chua para mas detalyadong usapang ito. Kasama na rin po sa ating gagawin at sa ating strategiya ang recalibrated budget para sa susunod na taon. Ito po ay nakaangklo sa administration's key priorities para po tayo ay makarecover sa COVID-19. Ang malaking alokasyon ng budget ay papunta sa social services sectors kasama ng implementasyon ng Universal Healthcare Act at pagbili po ng bakuna laban sa COVID-19. Nagsimula na rin po ang operasyon ng ating Build project subject to health and safety protocols. Ilan lang po ito sa mga strategiya na ating ginagawa upang manumbalik ang sigla ng ating ekonomiya. Pumunta naman po tayo dito sa balitang naunahan na raw po natin ng Pilipinas ang Indonesia bilang Southeast Asia's COVID-19 hotspot. Ito po ay matapos magtala ng Pilipinas ng 119,460 cases kumpara sa 118,753 ng mga kaso sa Indonesia. Alam niyo po, tapatan. Bagamat ayaw natin makita itong mga numerong to, itong mga numero naman po ay resulta na mas pinainting na nating mga testing. Dati-rati po, iisa lang ang laboratorio natin. Ngayon po, meron na tayong in excess of 100 laboratories. At ang ating mga test ngayon na ginagawa ay umabot na po tayo sa total ng 1,643,539 tests or an average of 28,938 tests per day. May mga nagsasabi na masama daw itong figura dahil tayo lang nga po ang pinakamataas. Hindi naman po ganon. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, alam na natin kung nasan yung kalaban nating COVID-19. At ngayong alam na natin kung nasan ang COVID-19, pwede na po natin silang ma-isolate, pwede na natin matrace yung mga nakahulubilo nila, at pwede na natin silang pagamutin. At samantala, tayo po'y gumagawa ng mas marami pang mga isolation centers dahil alam natin na yung mga walang kwarto, wala na may sariling banyo ay hindi po pwedeng mag-homestay lamang. No? Kinakailangan ilagay sa isolation facilities. Wika nga po ni Donald Trump para doon sa mga gustong makakita ng mas mababang figures, itigil ang testing. Pero hindi po ganyan ang pulisiya natin. Ang pulisiya po natin, lalo pa natin paiinting ang testing dahil nais nating malaman kung nasa ng COVID-19 nang sa ganon, sila po ay ma-isolate at ma-trace ang nahalubilo at gumaling. Ikumpara nga po natin ngayon ang testing na ginagawa sa Indonesia. No? Sa parehas na petsa as of August 4, according to our World in Data, yung Indonesia daw po tested around 908,000 lamang or an average of 14,921 per day within the last 7 days. At kung titignan natin ang populasyon ng dalawang bansa, ang test na ating isinagawa na po relative to our population size is 1.5%. Ikumpara nyo naman po sa 0.34% ng Indonesia. Ibig sabihin po, dahil mas mainting ang ating pagtetest, hindi po totoo na mas maraming kaso tayo kaysa sa Indonesia. Hindi lang nalalaman ng mga Indonesian kung sino-sino yung mga umiikot na meron na pong sakit. At least tayo po, alam natin kung sino na po sila. Kaya po dapat natingnan natin ang buong konteksto ng isang bagay. Mahalaga po na ating mga desisyon ay ayon sa datos at siyensya. Ulitin ko po, kahit po ang mas painting na testing ay magre-resulta sa mas malaking numero, hindi po natin ititigil yan dahil dyan po natin malalaman kung nasaan ang kalaban ng COVID-19. Pag-usapan naman po natin ang Oplen Kalinga Isolation Hotels. Ito po yung mga hotels na ginagamit na natin para ma-isolate yung ating mga positibo dahil nga po hindi dapat manatili sa kanilang mga tahanan. Ayon po sa National Task Force, as of August 5, meron na po tayong 17 operational hotels. At meron na rin po tayong 1,542 COVID plus patients na na-isolate sa mga hotel neto. So panawagan ko po doon sa mga positibo na asymptomatic at mild, libreng hotel po kayo, libreng pakain, libreng sundo, meron pang graduation matapos ang 14 days. Now, ngayon po, meron na tayong